Very good morning. Today we are going to discuss physics subject. From this subject in group 2, group 3, sub-inspector of police, police constable, railway recruitment board, staff selection commission and other competitive examinations also, we are expecting 6 to 8 questions. 6 to 8 marks we are expecting from this subject. What is the level of question in competitive examinations? The level of question in competitive examination from this subject up to 10th standard only. Maybe sometimes 1 or 2 questions plus 2 level also asking. In very rare. Sometimes some choices are there. However, the questions also, that kind of questions also in the level of 10th, but related to application point of view, questions will be framed. What are the lessons in this subject? First one, force and laws of motion. Second chapter, work, power and energy. Third chapter, kinematics. Fourth one, measurements and units. Fifth chapter, sound. Sixth chapter, liquids, or it is also called as fluids. Seventh chapter, heat energy, or simply called as heat. Eighth chapter, magnetism. Ninth one, electricity. 10th one, electromagnetic waves, or electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. 11th one, light or light energy. 12th one, modern physics. Then 13th one, our universe. These are the lessons in our physics subject. See once again, in our physics subject, we are expecting, according to previous competitive examinations, 6 to 8 questions. Maybe sometimes 1 or 2 questions, either less or more questions also, maybe choices are there. But in average, we are expecting 6 to 8 questions from this physics subject. See, lessons. First one, force and laws of motion. Second chapter, work, power and energy. Third chapter, kinematics. Fourth one, measurements and units. Fifth chapter, sound. Sixth one, liquids or fluids. Seventh chapter, heat. Eighth chapter, magnetism. Ninth, electricity. 10th one, electromagnetic waves or electromagnetic spectrum. 11th one, light. 12th chapter, modern physics. And then 13th one, our universe. Reference books for this subject. Reference books, either SCERT or NCERT textbooks. The standard material SCERT or NCERT textbooks. State Council of Educational Research and Training or National Council of Educational Research and Training. This is the textbooks. Up to 10th standard is enough. Today, brief or overall view on the lessons. Today we are going to discuss overall view on these chapters. In this first one, going to discuss about force and laws of motion. Force and laws of motion. Yes, force and laws of motion. In this, the first word, force, which is called as force. Force, it is a first of all one physical quantity. It is also derived physical quantity. Force is defined as the quantity or the physical quantity which is used to change the position of an object or can change the position of the object, either tries to change the position of the body or change the position of the body. Maybe two chances are there. Maybe it will try or maybe completely change the position of the body. That is said to be force. But according to formula, the product of mass and acceleration is called as force. This is the previous examination question. How to frame the question? The product of mass and acceleration is called as force. Once again, product of mass and acceleration is called as force. Force F is equal to ma. For this, we see one more important word in here, A bar, F bar. It contains two quantities contain the arrow mark. This arrow mark indicates vector quantity of that physical quantity. The physical quantity is a vector quantity. So, arrow indicates here direction. It contains direction. The physical quantity contains direction. That is why the two quantities are called as vector quantities. In F is equal to ma, which of the following are the vector quantities? Option A, force and mass. Option B, force and acceleration. Option C, force, mass and accelerations. Option D, here only mass and acceleration. See here, force and mass. In this, force is physical quantity, but mass is the force is the vector quantity, but mass is the scalar quantity. And force and acceleration both are vector quantities. Here, force and acceleration both are vector quantities, but mass is a scalar quantity. Here, mass is the scalar quantity, but this one is the vector quantity. Here, one is vector, another one is scalar. That is why it's not a correct one. In second one, both are vector quantities, so second one is the correct one. But in third one, mass is not a vector quantity. It's a scalar quantity. That is why it is also not a correct answer for the given question. And fourth one also same. So our answer is B. Which one is the correct option here? Option B is the correct one. So these type of questions will be up here in the competitive examination. So one is product of mass and acceleration is called as force. Which of the following are the vector quantities? Force and acceleration. How to write the units? What are the units for force? Just we are going to discuss about only brief view from this chapter. With CGS unit, mass unit we know in CG, G for gram. So mass unit is gram because of first letter indicates length unit. Second one related to mass. Third one is the time related unit. So gram. Acceleration unit centimeter per second square, which is equal to dyne. SI unit kg meter per second square, which is equal to Newton. 1 Newton is equal to, this is the previous examination question. 1 Newton is equal to dash kg meter per second square. 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg meter per second square. What is the relation between Newton and dyne? The relation between Newton and dyne is 10 power 5 dynes. Or 1 dyne is equal to 10 power minus 5 newtons. This relation is important. 1 Newton is equal to how many dynes? Option A, 10 power 3 dynes. Option B, 10 power minus 3 dynes. Option C, 10 power 5 dynes. Option D, 10 to the power of minus 5 dynes. Which one is correct one here? From this, 1 Newton is equal to how many dynes? 10 to the power of 5 dyne. Or 1 dyne is equal to how many newtons? 10 power minus 5 Newton. See, product of mass and acceleration is called as force. Its easiest unit gram centimeter per second square, which is equal to dyne. SI unit kg meter per second square or Newton. 1 Newton value 10 power 5 dyne. 1 dyne is equal to 10 to the power of minus 5 newtons. Basic forces in the nature. Basic forces in the nature. Why should we learn this topic? Because examiner asking how to frame the question. Yes. Which of the following is not a basic force in the nature? The question is, which of the following is not a basic force in nature? Which of the following is not a basic force in the nature? Option A, friction force. Option B, nuclear forces. Option C, gravitational force. Option D, electromagnetic forces. It is the previous competitive examination question. Please once again see which of the following is not a basic force in the nature. Option A, friction. Option B, nuclear force. Option C, gravitational force. Option D, electromagnetic force. To choose the correct option for this question, we must learn about these basic forces in the nature. That is why we must concentrate on this. First of all, there are 4 types. Basic forces in the nature, there are 4 types. What are they? First one, gravitational force of attraction. Gravitational force of attraction. Option B, electromagnetic force of attraction. Option C, weak nuclear force. Option D, strong nuclear force. Gravitational force of attraction, electromagnetic force of attraction, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force. Another question from this topic. Which of the following is the weak force? Which of the following is the weak force? Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force. Which one is the correct one? Gravitational force. It is the weakest force in the nature. Which is the weakest force? Gravitational force is the weakest force among all the basic forces in the nature. Next one. Which of the following is the strongest force in the nature? Which of the following is the strongest force in the nature? Strong nuclear. Strong one is strong. But weak one is not a weakest. Weak nuclear force. Weakest force is the gravitational force. See, basic force in the nature, how many types? 4 types. Gravitational force, electromagnetic force of attraction, weak nuclear force, 4th one, strong nuclear force. Among these 4, weakest force in the nature is gravitational force. Then strongest force is strong nuclear force. Forces. These are classified into mainly 2 types. They are, one is balanced, unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces. Second one is balanced forces. Unbalanced forces and balanced forces. Unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces. There are 3 types. Unbalanced forces, there are 3 types. They are, number 1, gravitational force. Second one is electrostatic force. Third one is magnetic force. Magnetic force. These are the unbalanced forces. Balanced forces. These are classified into 4 types. Balanced forces and unbalanced forces. In this, balanced force, first one, muscular force. Second one is tension force, or simply called as tension. Third one is friction force, or simply called friction. The fourth one is normal force, or normal. This is the classification of forces according to balancing or unbalancing. Unbalanced forces, balanced forces. Balanced forces, there are 4 types. Muscular, tension, friction, normal. Unbalanced forces, gravitational force, electrostatic force, Third one, magnetic force. See how to frame the question. Here, which of the following does not a balanced force? Which of the following does not a balanced force? Option A, muscular force. Option B, tension force. Option C, friction force. Option D, magnetic force. Which one is correct one here? Magnetic force. It is not a balanced force. It is the unbalanced force. Isn't it? Steps in this chapter. Universal gravitational force of attraction theory. Universal gravitational force of attraction theory. Universal gravitational force of attraction theory. Who explained this theory? Universal gravitational force of attraction theory proposed by Newton. Who explained? Direct question. Repeated question in various competitive examinations. Universal gravitational force of attraction theory or gravitational force of attraction theory explained by, who is that person? Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. Universal gravitational force of attraction. It is applicable for not only small size of the objects, not only applicable for large size of the objects, not only applicable for the objects which are present in the earth gravitational field, it is also applicable for all the objects which are present in the entire universe. It's applicable for all the objects in the universe. That is why it's called what we call universal gravitational force of attraction theory. In this, there are two most important bits are there. One is universal gravitational force of attraction theory proposed by, who is that person? Newton. It is applicable for all the objects in the universe. It's applicable for all the objects in the universe. Geocentric theory. What is the meaning of geo? Geo means the earth. The earth. Which is located at center. Earth is located at the center. That is why this theory is said to be geocentric theory. According to this theory, Earth located at the center, including of the sun, all the planets revolving around the earth. Listen once again. Sun, including of the sun, all the remaining planets revolving around the earth according to geocentric theory. This theory was proposed by Ptolemy, where P is silent here. Ptolemy in 2nd century. This theory given by Ptolemy in 2nd century according to geocentric theory, which is located at the center, Earth, including of the sun, all the planets revolving around it. But it's not a correct theory. This is only his imagination. Maybe Earth is located at the center, including of the sun, moon, remaining all the planets will be revolving around it. But one more interesting concept here, this theory was acceptable up to 1400 years, not only 1 or 2 years. 1400 years it was accepted by the people. Where 2 plus 14, 1600 centuries. Means after that, 16th century, in 16th century, it was refused by public. What happens here? In the 16th century, one new theory was introduced. The theory is said to be heliocentric theory. Heliocentric theory. According to this theory, helio means the sun. Helio means the sun. According to this theory, which is located at the center? Sun is located at the center. Including of the earth, all the planets revolving around the sun in a particular orbit, in independent path. Every planet has independent path. They are not revolving around the sun in all the planets, not in the same path, same way. Every planet has independent or its own path only right now. So that is why this theory is said to be heliocentric theory. Helio means sun. This theory was given by Copernicus in 16th century. Heliocentric theory given by Copernicus in 16th century. After this theory, planetary laws of motion, these laws also agreed this heliocentric theory. It is also, these laws also helpful to explain the heliocentric theory. These are so boost this concept. What is that concept? Heliocentric theory. What are they? There are three laws. Planetary laws of motion proposed by or given by Kepler scientist. Which of the following scientists explain the planetary laws of motion? Kepler scientist. Kepler. How many laws? There are three laws. Kepler's first law of motion, Kepler's second law of motion, Kepler's third law of motion. We will briefly discussing the topic. Who is the scientist? Kepler. Planetary laws of motion proposed by Kepler scientist. In this chapter, one more most important area, acceleration due to gravity. It is denoted by small g. An object having acceleration by the gravitational force, then that is said to be universal acceleration due to gravity. An object, it is attracted by this earth. By the gravitational force of attraction on this object, the object having acceleration is said to be what we call acceleration due to the gravity. It is denoted by small g. Its value 9.8 meter per second square. It is common for all the objects which are present in the earth. This value is common for all the objects in the universe. For example, 1 gram mass of the stone. This is the 10 grams mass of the stone. This is the 1 kg mass of the stone. There are three objects are there. All the objects are on the presence of the earth. All are on the surface of the earth. Are in the earth gravitational field. Objects, these three objects are in the earth gravitational field. These are placed at certain height from the surface of the earth. If these three objects falling from certain height these three objects falling from certain height, and these three reaches are moving towards the earth surface. If first object having 9.8 meter per second square acceleration, then what about the second and first? What is the acceleration of the first and second object? Yes, first and second both are also having the equal value of third object. That is, mass does not influence the acceleration due to gravity. So whatever it is, any kind of mass of that object, any object moving towards the earth surface by 9.8 meter per second square acceleration. You have to remember that concept, that is important one. So what is the common value? Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. Also, we will discuss in the chapter what about the G value at poles, at equator, at depth, at height, at the center, at local conditions. We will discuss this concept also. Acceleration due to gravity. How to vary the G value with respect to poles, equator, depth, height, at the center of the earth, local conditions. Also, we will discuss about these topics also. Yeah. Next one, it is acceleration due to gravity. This one also impact the weight of the object. Weight W is equal to formula mg. Weight W is equal to mg, where m is the mass of an object, g is the acceleration due to gravity. If any one physical quantity will be changed, obviously this one also change. For example, if mass of an object is 1 kg, G value how much? 9.8 meter per second square, because of it is constant value. So what happened here? W is equal to 1 into 9.8, so which is equal to 9.8 newtons. In case if mass of an object is 10 kilograms, G value same, that is 9.8 meter per second square. W is equal to, what happened here? M value 10, G value 9.8, which is equal to 98 meter per second square. See, if M value vary, weight also varies. Here M value vary, weight also varies. See, one more example. If mass of an object is same, how much? 1 kg. If G value approximately gravity on the moon is 1.6 meter per second square, isn't it? Gravity on the moon 1.6 meter per second square, we know. What happens here? Weight of an object, W is equal to formula m into, where G is equal to 1.6 meter per second square. So weight of an object is equal to 1.6 Newton. What you observed here? If any one quantity will change, obviously weight of the body also varies. Same object, mass of the object is same, but weight will be varies. And one question is there. If weight of an object on the earth is 9.8 newtons, weight of an object on the earth surface 9.8 newton. Weight of that object, same object, weight of that same object on the moon will be 1.6 newtons. Why? Because G value will be 1/6. Gravity on the moon is equal to 1/6 gravity on the earth. Gravity on the moon is equal to 1/6 gravity on the earth. Some more examples also we will discuss later.